DeFi 2.0 101. What is it and why it's the next evolution in decentralized finance? Goal 1. Understanding the foundations of DeFi and the need for DeFi 2.0. Introduction to DeFi. Welcome. In this comprehensive guide, we're diving deep into DeFi 2.0, a game-changing evolution in decentralized finance. Whether you're familiar with DeFi or brand new to the concept, this video will give you a clear understanding of how it's changing finance. Definition. Let's start with the basics. DeFi stands for decentralized finance, a term used to describe financial services built on blockchain technology. Unlike traditional banks, DeFi operates without intermediaries, offering open, permissionless financial systems accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Evolution from DeFi 1.0 to DeFi 2.0. DeFi was about bringing basic financial services, like lending, borrowing, and trading, onto the blockchain. Early projects like Uniswap, Compound, and Aave enabled users to participate in these services without traditional intermediaries. Limitations of DeFi 1.0. High transaction costs. Transaction fees, especially on Ethereum, can make DeFi costly. Liquidity volatility. Since liquidity depends heavily on user deposits, sudden withdrawals can create instability. Scalability issues. As DeFi gained popularity, congestion on the Ethereum network slowed transactions and increased costs, affecting usability. Why DeFi 2.0 is needed. DeFi 2.0 emerged to address these limitations. This new phase in DeFi emphasizes more sustainable, user-friendly, and secure features to create a better experience for everyone. Goal 2. Core innovations in DeFi 2.0. Diving into new concepts. 1. Protocol-owned liquidity. A key innovation in DeFi 2.0 is protocol-owned liquidity, or POL. Let's break it down. In DeFi 1.0, liquidity was provided by users who could remove it at any time, causing market fluctuations. Example, Olympus DAO. Olympus DAO introduced a unique system where the protocol itself owns its liquidity, giving it more control over price stability and liquidity management. Explanation of OHM tokenomics. Olympus DAO incentivizes users to stake OHM, which increases liquidity ownership within the protocol. The protocol then uses this liquidity to control its token stability. Tip for viewers. If you're considering DeFi 2.0 investments, look for projects with PLL. These protocols tend to be more stable since they own their liquidity and have mechanisms in place to manage price fluctuations. 2. Self-repaying loans. One of the most interesting features in DeFi 2.0 is self-repaying loans. Imagine borrowing money without the need to actively pay it back. The loan repays itself over time through yield generated by the protocol. Example, Alchemix. Alchemix is the pioneer here. With Alchemix, you deposit assets like DAI and receive ALUSD, which is backed by your deposit. The deposited DAI generates yield, which repays your loan. Practical example. Let's say you deposit $1,000 in DAI. You get $500 in ALUSD to use, while the $1,000 DAI deposit generates interest to repay the $500 loan over time. Tip for viewers. Self-repaying loans reduce your debt risk, making them suitable for more conservative users looking to interact with DeFi. 3. Sustainable yield farming and staking. Yield farming. The practice of earning rewards by staking assets was popular in DeFi 1.0. However, it often led to unsustainable high APYs. DeFi 2.0 projects are introducing models for sustainable yield farming. Example, Tokemek. Tokemek creates sustainable yield farming by directing liquidity to where it's needed most. It allows protocols to optimize liquidity without high APYs, which drain resources. Real-life application. Tokemek's liquidity reactors allow users to deposit assets, which are then directed to optimize liquidity across different protocols. Tip for viewers. If you're into yield farming, consider platforms focused on long-term sustainability, like Tokemek. Sustainable staking reduces the likelihood of pump and dump scenarios. 4. Cross-chain compatibility and interoperability. As DeFi expands across multiple blockchains, interoperability between networks is becoming essential. DeFi 2.0 solutions focus on making transactions seamless across different chains. Example, Thorchain and Aniswap. Thorchain enables cross-chain liquidity, allowing users to swap assets across chains without intermediaries. Aniswap is another platform facilitating cross-chain interactions, so users don't have to be restricted to just one network. Tip for viewers: when using cross-chain protocols, be mindful of fees, which can vary. Some cross-chain solutions may also have longer processing times, depending on network congestion. Goal 3. In-depth case studies of DeFi 2.0 projects. Case Study 1. Olympus DAO and Protocol-Owned Liquidity. Detailed look at OHM tokenomics. Users can stake OHM and earn rewards, which Olympus DAO uses to stabilize its protocol. POL means Olympus DAO has more control over liquidity, helping to protect users from drastic price drops. Actionable insight for viewers: when assessing a DeFi 2.0 protocol, check if they implement POL. Protocols with POL are typically less susceptible to liquidity crises. Case Study 2. Alchemix and Self-Repaying Loans. Alchemix's self-repaying loans take a unique approach to borrowing. Here's how it works. Example transaction. Imagine you deposit $1,000 in DAI into Alchemix. Alchemix will allow you to take an advance, say $500 in ALUSD, while the $1,000 generates interest over time, eventually repaying your loan. Practical tip for viewers: this method is beneficial for those seeking lower-risk loans. Self-repaying loans allow you to borrow without constantly monitoring repayments, which is ideal for long-term holding. Case Study 3. Tokemak and Liquidity Optimization. Tokemak's reactors. Tokemak's reactors act as liquidity hubs, which enable projects to attract consistent liquidity without offering unsustainable APYs. Tokemak is a great example of a DeFi 2.0 protocol that addresses yield farming risks. It reduces reliance on inflationary rewards, making it more attractive for users interested in stability. Goal 4. Risks, Challenges, and Future Trends in DeFi 2.0. 1. Security and Vulnerabilities. Security remains one of the biggest challenges in DeFi, and DeFi 2.0 protocols are innovating to improve user protection. Practical security tips: check if the protocol has been audited by reliable firms like Certic or QuantStamp. Consider using multi-signature wallets for added security. 2. Regulatory concerns and compliance. With DeFi's rise, regulatory bodies are increasingly scrutinizing the space. Potential regulations may impact how DeFi 2.0 operates, especially in terms of KYC, know your customer, and AML, anti-money laundering. Look out for protocols that follow regulatory guidelines or operate in a transparent manner. Be cautious when using unregulated platforms, as regulatory crackdowns could impact your holdings. 3. Market risks and sustainability. DeFi 2.0 projects sometimes face challenges related to tokenomics and economic sustainability. Tips for mitigating risks: choose projects with well-structured tokenomics. Avoid protocols that promise extremely high returns without clear backing. Invest in projects with stable or sustainable staking and yield farming models. Goal 5. Practical guide to getting started with DeFi 2.0. 1. Setting up a DeFi wallet. The first step to getting started in DeFi 2.0 is setting up a compatible wallet. Walkthrough of MetaMask setup. Download MetaMask and set up your wallet with a strong, unique password. Write down and securely store your recovery phrase. Never share this phrase, as anyone with access to it can control your wallet. For added security, consider hardware wallets like Ledger or Trezor, which store your keys offline and make your assets less vulnerable to online hacks. Connecting your wallet to DeFi platforms. Once MetaMask is set up, you can connect it to DeFi platforms. Simply click Connect Wallet on your chosen platform, and MetaMask will prompt you to confirm. Approving this connection lets the platform interact with your wallet address, but not with your private keys. 2. Choosing DeFi 2.0 platforms wisely. Evaluating platform safety. It's essential to conduct your own research before using any DeFi 2.0 platform. Look for projects that are audited by reputable firms like QuantStamp, trail of bits, or conscientious diligence. Also, consider reviewing community feedback. Platforms with active user communities and transparency are generally more reliable. Platform-specific examples. For protocol-owned liquidity, check out platforms like Olympus DAO. For self-repaying loans, Alchemix is a great choice. For cross-chain compatibility, explore Thorchain or AnySwap. Tip for beginners: stick to established protocols before venturing into newer, unaudited platforms. Established protocols are generally more stable and have larger user communities, which can help detect and prevent issues. 3. Making your first transaction on a DeFi 2.0 platform. Step-by-step guide using Alchemix as an example. Let's walk through using Alchemix to get a self-repaying loan. First, connect your wallet. As we previously discussed, deposit a stablecoin like DAI into Alchemix. For this example, let's say we deposit $1,000 in DAI. Now, you can borrow up to 50% of your deposit in ALUSD, which you can use immediately. This loan will repay itself over time as your deposited DAI earns interest. Tips for using self-repaying loans. Start small to understand the platform's mechanics. Monitor your yield to see how quickly the loan repays and avoid over-leveraging. 4. Best practices for DeFi security. Using multi-signature wallets for extra protection. If you're managing large amounts, consider a multi-signature wallet. Multi-sig wallets require multiple approvals to process transactions, adding an extra layer of security. Platforms like Gnosis Safe allow you to set up multi-sig wallets and customize approval requirements. Be cautious of scams and phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are a common threat in DeFi. Always double-check URLs before connecting your wallet and avoid clicking suspicious links. For added security, consider using the bookmark for your frequently used DeFi sites to avoid fake URLs. Regularly reviewing connected sites on MetaMask. It's a good practice to review and remove unused connections on MetaMask periodically. Go to connected sites in MetaMask settings to manage permissions and remove platforms you no longer use. 5. Staying informed and up-to-date with DeFi 2.0. Reliable sources for DeFi news and updates. DeFi is constantly evolving, so it's crucial to stay informed. Reliable sources include DeFi Pulse, The Defiant, and CoinGecko. Twitter and Reddit are also valuable for following DeFi updates, especially by following key influencers and project developers. Using analytics platforms for DeFi data. Tools like DeFi Llama and Dune Analytics offer insights into protocol performance, such as total value lock, APYs, and liquidity metrics. Monitor TVL to gauge a protocol's popularity and stability. Higher TVL often indicates greater trust and security among users. Engaging with the community. Most DeFi projects have active communities on Discord or Telegram. These communities can provide real-time support, and joining them allows you to learn from other users' experiences. When joining these groups, be wary of DMS claiming to be from support. DeFi protocols rarely offer direct support through DMS, and such messages are often scams. 6. Summary and final thoughts on DeFi 2.0. DeFi 2.0 represents a major step forward in decentralized finance, addressing many of the challenges that early DeFi projects faced. DeFi 2.0 introduces protocol-owned liquidity, self-repaying loans, sustainable yield farming, and cross-chain interoperability. These innovations make DeFi more accessible and safer for a broader audience. Final tips for newcomers. Start with small transactions to understand each platform's mechanics. Use reputable and audited platforms to minimize risks. Remember, DeFi is experimental, so only invest what you're willing to risk. Thank you for joining me on this journey through DeFi 2.0. I hope you feel equipped to explore these exciting new tools with confidence and care. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this helpful, stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of blockchain and finance. This script offers a thorough guide to DeFi 2.0 with explanations, actionable steps, and real-life examples. It's structured to be engaging over an extended period, combining educational content with practical insights. Let me know if there's a specific section you'd like to expand further. Thank you for following Prestigious 21. Like and share. Check our link in bio.